Holy cow, tons of changes impacting episode 54 of Bonfire Man. So what is Bonfire Man exactly? Well, it's an experimental Snowflake Iron Man account. This account started when I asked the question, how far can you get in RuneScape if you're only allowed to interact with everything exactly once? So once you've chopped a tree, it's exhausted and you can never chop it again. Turns out, did the math, can't get very far. So the next question was, how do we add a mechanism that lets you respawn things after they've been exhausted? And I thought about the bonfires from Dark Souls. You rest at a bonfire, everything respawns. So here's the pitch. We start locked to some number of chunks in the game. I have to exhaust all of the content in those chunks exactly once. Then I get to randomly select a new chunk. When I pass into the new chunk, I rest at a bonfire, respawning all of the exhausted entities in the old chunks. Now I have to do all of that again in the new chunk and the old chunks. The general goal is to just see how far we can take this. I'd like to unlock all the chunks in RuneScape, but I think that's going to take about 10,000 hours to complete. And this account is, by necessity, much more experimental than most Snowflake Iron accounts. This is the part of the video where I speak the forbidden RuneScape words. This account has a flexible rule set, and you click off the video in a rage. But in all seriousness, we need to have flexible rules for the account concept to even work. If you want to check out my rationale for all the existing rules, check out the Google Doc in the description. Let's get to the playthrough. Okay, so every chunk account you watch has probably already talked about this, but if you didn't know, Jagex recently changed random events so that more random events give lamps, the same lamps you used to get from the Genie random. This change came out right when I was almost done with my previous cycle, so it did actually affect me. I did not do Freaky Forester or the Pillory Guard. Could have theoretically gotten a couple lamps from those. I'm just glad I didn't miss the change for like weeks or months. It just happened to launch on the day I was basically done. So this change to lamps is going to be insane for this account and for every chunk restricted account. It's going to very significantly increase the amount of XP that I can lamp on skills that are otherwise impossible for me to train, which in this case is primarily Slayer. I might change my plans going forward. I think it's just all going to go on Slayer for the most part. The other massive change has been to shooting stars. Previously, I would always go for a 2-hour star. Somebody would call the cop, people would descend on it, and I would get, a 30-minute star instead of a 2-hour star. Well, I've been slightly nerfed and or slightly buffed, depending on your perspective, because now, as you know, shooting stars have been changed so that they don't decay more based on the number of players on them. But the downside is that a tier 9 star at the absolute longest only lasts about 90 minutes or so. With the number of shooting stars I have access to, I think this is still going to net increase the amount of mining XP I get per cycle. I guess we'll find out this cycle whether I come in short, but I certainly didn't on average get all of my stars for the full 2 hours, and even having 1 star get lost to a single other person showing up would be a giant cut into my total AFK time. So I think it's going to be about similar. The only main difference is that now I'll finally be able to actually plan around a shooting star instead of leaving to go to the store and worrying that it's going to get descended upon while I'm gone and I'm not going to be able to click it again, So yeah, those are 2 big changes. The actual cycle this time isn't super exciting, to be honest. As you might recall from last episode, we rolled a nothing chunk. It's a chunk in the East Wilderness that is literally empty. There are no nodes there, not even nodes that we've done before. So we just rolled straight into the next one, chunk 89, West Feldip Hills, which technically is not a reroll because there are ogres there, and I haven't technically been able to kill ogres yet in chunks that are accessible to me. And swamp toads technically are a resource because there's a limited number of them. Now I'm going to need to finish chompy bird hunting to do anything with those. So that means that the chunk I think is going to be blocked from being completed this cycle. I will have to chop this small amount of extra trees and oak trees every cycle and kill all these enemies, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal. So last episode, I did roll that completely empty wilderness chunk and didn't bother with crossing the fog wall into it. I'll just go ahead and do that. There's nothing to do there, so there's no bonfire light or something, and then we'll pop over into West Feldip. All right, here we are at the threshold of that completely empty chunk. I'm going to go ahead and cross into it here. Okay, so we did get a new music track unlock, it sounds like. Witching, yeah. But other than that, there is actually nothing here. Not a single node, not a choppable tree. 0 things to do. I'm just going to run around really quick and confirm that 100%. Yeah, those trees are not choppable. Just bones that you can't pick up. It's actually just completely empty. So that's that. Let's go to the actual new chunk. Okay, I'm here at the chunk boundary. Let's go ahead and cross the fog wall and light the bonfire here. Beautiful. Here we are. Beautiful West Feldip Hills. And let's do the bonfire before I forget. Cool. And of course we have to rest at it. Alright, so like I said, pretty boring chunk, all things considered. I'm probably going to get this done really fast, the things that I can do. I guess I brought all this stuff to PVM with, so let's get the PVM out of the way first. Kill these ogres. Actually mark them off as a completed task now, so if we get another chunk that just has ogres in it, it will not count as new. I think they have relatively boring drops. I guess there's some like herb seeds I can get maybe. Okay, so I'm basically done with the combat aspect here. I've done 9 ogres, 5 wolves, I've killed the giant spiders and the rats. But you'll notice I'm not done with ogres. It's 9 instead of 10. What's up with that? Well, I need to step away and come back and I'll explain why. I think a big draw of this Bonfire Man series is finding weird, specific things that don't matter to anyone. Did you know that this ogre is trapped in this tile and only spawns on this tile regardless of world, and you cannot reach him with melee no matter what you do? I'm actually not even sure if you can attack him. I left to get some ranged weapons to see if I can shoot him. Okay, so I can kill him through here, but he's just stuck in there. That's just his life. He spawns in there, he can never move. I guess he's arguably permanently safe spotted if you wanted to be really lazy and just wait on him to respawn forever, but wild. Had no idea that guy was there. Okay, I killed him. He just dropped bones. I didn't bring telegraph runes anyway. I figured there wasn't too much that was worth picking up. Now it's time to chop trees and then we're going to be out of here. Okay, so there are a couple inaccessible trees. These two up on this hill you can't actually reach. More inaccessible trees here. You cannot get to this one. So the majority of the dead trees up on this hill here are not actually accessible. This one might be. Let's see if it lets me squeeze over there. No. Can I not even get around up this way? No, you can't get up there. Okay, so yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 that you can't get. Okay, all I've got left to do are these 2 trees here. This guy and this guy. And it's not victory achieved because I can't inflate the swamp toads and use them for jumpy bird hunting. We'll have to get quite a few more chunks unlocked for that to be possible. I think I can just barely reach that if I right click. There we go. Yeah, okay. So that's the last regular tree and I got both of the oak trees. So one thing to note, I guess there's a death rune pickup. I'll add that to the list here. That is on the chunk picker, but these bones spawns are not. So I might need to report that to Source Chunk. Let them know that there's a couple bone spawns here to add. It's like 5 or 6 bone spawns. I'm just picking them up and burying them here. Oh, there's more over this way, actually. Okay, I think I got them all. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I think there's 3 back there, so I think it's 9 bone spawns. So yeah, I'm just going to let Source Chunk know to fix it. Yep, it's 9. 1 death rune, 9 bones. Reported it to Source Chunk, and we're done for now. So now I just have to go back and redo every other chunk, which is only going to take 60 hours or something like that. First thing I'm probably going to focus on is shooting stars. I'd like to report how those change from prior cycles, so I'll let you know as soon as one drops. Alright, let's talk about the past chunk overview. There'll be a time code in the description if you want to skip past this. First off, 100% completed chunks. These are chunks in which we've done every possible task at least once. The main benefit for these is that we can skip any of the tasks in those chunks on future cycles. No real change here from last episode, except that one completely empty chunk up in the wilderness counts as 100% completed, but there was nothing to do there anyway. 100% completed chunks also confer some additional benefits. We can chop trees until they deplete, fish until fishing spots move, do thieving activities 28 times each, mine shooting stars until they deplete, run agility laps until the Mark of Grace spawns, and buy out shop stocks once per cycle. This is the same as prior cycles. I won't linger on it. I am going to add a new slide here to talk about shop stock buyout because there's a lot of shops now and I can't really fit them in that summary view. So these are all the shops that I'm buying out. Without going over all of them, the gist of it is that I'm buying out any shop that has resources that might be useful down the line, like pineapples, oranges for protecting maple trees, buckets of slime, sand, seaweed for crafting later on. I get as many wizard mind bombs and dwarven stouts as I can from Burthorpe, just in case it ends up mattering for boosting in the future. But the main thing I buy out from every shop every cycle is anything that I can dump in the Giant's Foundry. It almost is always worth the XP and money return from melting things down for GF. So that's the main unlock I look forward to whenever I unlock a new shop. Can I dump these things in Giant's Foundry? So after 100% completed chunks, the chunks that we can't 100% complete, first we have quest blocked chunks. We can't do these because there's a quest in the zone that's physically blocking us from doing something there. In this case, the chunk we just unlocked is a quest block chunk. I can't interact with the swamp bubbles in this chunk until we get the Ogre Bellows from unlocking Chompy Bird Hunting. After quest blocked chunks, we have skill blocked chunks. No change here. Agility is still blocking a lot of these. It will probably permanently block Arduin. I don't think we'll ever be able to do the Arduin agility course. There's a couple stashes we have to build. Those are the construction blocks, and then Silvaria in the northeast is blocked by having access to 40 Slayer to qualify for Rag and Bone Man 2, which we might actually get through lamping now that there are so many more lamps in the ecosystem. And then that one at the bottom there for pest control, we have to get combat level to 100, and that's probably going to take a while. I have to get a lot of skills to base 80 before that even becomes possible. On the subject of skills, Slayer is still blocked from training. We need to get access to desert lizards in one of these highlighted chunks. This has been blocked for an extremely long time, and I don't know if it's ever going to be unblocked. We'll see. After skill blocked chunks, we have item blocked chunks. I need teak planks to build a stash over in the dig site exam center, and we need a bird snare and a big fishing net for Soul Isle. And finally, chunk blocked chunks. We can't finish these chunks because there's content in them that is only accessible via an adjacent chunk that we don't have unlocked yet. And that's it for the overview. Let's get back to the playthrough. Alright, I got my first star for the cycle. It is the one at Alcarid Bank, which is great. This star usually was a wash. It's on a free-to-play world, which I don't think significantly debuffs me, but I can't say 100% for sure. It'll be interesting to figure out how like reliable this is, like whether I can just set my clock to that 248 and come back to it. Well, first star didn't go super well, unfortunately. I only got it for an hour for reasons. I only got 901 dust, but I've got another one here at the Champions Guild that I'm headed to. Yeah, this is the tier 8 at the Champions Guild. This should be like 92 minutes, which is pretty good. One thing I've learned pretty conclusively is I need to turn public chat off while doing shooting stars now. It's worse than Winter Todd or anything on 4chan. All right, that one went much better. About 90 minutes exactly. 40k mining XP? Way better than last time. All right, I'm just gonna log out now and wait for the next shooting star. It's annoying to try to like do things in the 30 minutes in between waves. All right, got my third star here at the Soul Wars mine. All right, on my fourth star here at Varrock Southeast. I think it's gonna come in a little under my XP and Stardust from previous cycles. I think I get a lot less XP at the higher tiers of the star the way it currently works. But I'll still take it because I'd rather be able to predict my life than not know if I'm gonna have a 2-hour star or a 20-minute star, right? Another one here at the Southwest mine. Got another one here at the East Lumbered Swamp. This is going really well. It's so much easier for me to schedule these now, fit them into my day. Here in Varrock, I imagine this is going to start to get kind of annoying once I only have a couple stars left, because I'm going to have to wait for lots and lots of waves to get a tier that's worth mining. Whereas previously I could get like a tier 4, and that would still be a full 2 hours, right? But right now I still have enough stars that it's reasonable to track these down. Still working through stars here at the Asgarnian Road chunk. I still have to do the Alcarid Mine, the Mage Training Arena, Remington, the Edgeville Ditch, Port Khazard, and East Falador, but I've got like 234k mining XP so far. Another one here. Let's see if I can get an XP drop to summarize. You can see how much XP I got from the last one. Well, maybe you can just see it here. Yeah, I got like 37k. That's not too bad. Up to 13,000 Stardust. I got the one at Port Khazard. This is going fine. I haven't had to settle for anything lower than tier 7 so far. Although the difference between tier 7, 8, and 9 is almost non-existent with the way it drains. Like, you probably get like 1 mining tick. I think that's something they didn't really think about here, really. All right, so Wilderness Shooting Stars, I kind of need to find on my own, or again, thanks to help from Esjil Backy. Really appreciate it, Esjil. You don't want to do these in a mass. They generally don't get called on the Star Miner map. And it makes sense that they don't, because you would get swarmed by other players trying to murder you. So, just doing a T5, that's probably as good as I'm going to get. It's not too bad. Still a little over an hour. Hello there. Got a genie spawn. I guess I was expecting to get a lamp from a different random event, but I'll still take a genie. Let's throw that on Slayer. Thank you, sir. We got a ways to go. Well, I got PK'd. I didn't lose anything. I lost a Ring of Dueling with 1 charge on it and all my Stardust because I was AFK. I didn't realize it was happening, so I couldn't put it on my Celestial Ring. I'm going to try to head back and finish mining the thing, but that's pretty annoying. Oh, never mind. I don't lose the Stardust. I guess it just goes in the gravestone because it can't get claimed by the PKer. So I lost nothing. It was fine. All right, just 2 more stars after this one. Well, second genie, 2 in a row.
Genie.
Love seeing 2 genies in a row. All right, second to last star, and then I can get on to other things. Okay, this is my final star of the cycle. Looking at XP counts here, I've got it down to T2. I'm probably going to come in a bit short. I was getting like 500k or more in previous cycles. I'm going to get more like 450k, but I will take the reliability and the ability for me to scout these entirely by myself over the previous model where I was just constantly stressed that a crowd of people would show up and reduce my 2 hours of AFK to 20 minutes of AFK. This has been fun. I can actually get to the cycle proper here soon, and you probably won't hear me talk about shooting stars anymore, just because it's, you know, I don't want most of these videos of me calling out shooting stars over and over. But I thought it would be interesting to do now that they changed the rules. Okie dokie, folks. I took a short break after finishing all the shooting stars to make sure I had all my ducks in a row in RS3, but I'm back and ready to focus entirely on Bonfire Man. I have a lamp that I didn't actually use. I got from a random event. And I'm going to start working on actual mining, because I want to see, I don't really know how much mining XP I get per cycle from things other than shooting stars. So I want to see how the XP compares once I do all of my actual mining tasks in addition to shooting stars. So those are, I gotta finish clearing some of these. Those are here. I have to do all of this stuff. I might actually want to start with Motherlode Mine, because there's a possibility I unlock the top floor, which is completely nuts if I pull it off. So I might head in that direction first. Okay, this is our first batch of pay dirt. Can we get lucky? Oh, zero gold nuggets. Oh, that's really painful. On average, I should get 3 for a set of 3 pay dirt deposits. So yeah, don't think we're getting the upper level this cycle. That's really sad. All right, second sack here. Okay, I got 3 that time. That means next cycle is relatively likely, right? Because I'm not done this cycle still. I could still get lucky and get a few more. I have 94. So I just need 6 more. And if I get on average 3 per deposit, I should get it next cycle, I think. Oh, I screwed up and overmined like 10 pay dirt or so. But let's see. No, didn't get any more. So I have to get all 6 nuggets next cycle. I'm probably going to get like 5. It's going to suck. Yeah, I got a pheasant random event. 4 tails. I think that these have a chance to give lamps now. Maybe they're even guaranteed to give lamps now. Turn it in. Use the portal. Did give me a lamp. That's fantastic. Slayer. So the mining gloves are way more effective than I ever thought they were, especially for coal. I've mined 106 coal and they've triggered like 47 times or something. Yeah, there it is. 48 times prevented from depleting. So I'm going to get way more coal, like almost like 150% as much coal, and gold and silver, I guess, technically. But the coal is a really huge deal. Hey, so I'm basically done with all of my mining tasks here. I got way more silver, gold ore, and coal, thanks to the gloves. But I'm on to soil right now. This is still worth doing. I could technically skip it, but I think it's pretty helpful. I'll report what my mining XP is at the end of all of this, because that's really, if I'm doing apples to apples, I have to compare my total mining XP, not just the XP from stars, to see how much I actually lost from the change. Slowly but surely, I work my way through the dig site. I'm about halfway done with the level 2 digs, done with the level 1 digs. So I'm going to have pretty good in terms of damaged armors. As much as I'd like to skip this, it's so many bars for Giant's Foundry. I might stop once I get to 99 smithing, which could happen. We're not even halfway there. We're not even a quarter of the way there, but you know, you never know. All right, so the final XP total for mining is 529k, which is actually pretty close to the way it used to work with the old shooting star mechanics. So yeah, I'm happy with it. Mining is done. I got a lot to work on. I don't know what I'm going to do next. Before I do fishing, I have to do fishing trawler. Before I do thieving, I have to do the rogue's den. So I might start wood cutting. I'm not going to report every forestry event. You saw that last episode, but I will give you a summary of everything forestry related at the end. Okay, folks, so I've actually been away from the game for a while. If you've been watching this episode, I did shooting stars before they nerfed the 90-minute thing. And I haven't touched forestry yet, but they just changed forestry such that now I don't need event items anymore, so I'm not like blocked on a bunch of forestry events. So here's a summary of where I am after stepping away from Bonfire Man for a really long time. I still have to do all of wood cutting. Basically all I've done is mining, right? I haven't, and the newest chunk. I haven't done any of these other tasks. The problem is I've been doing prep for my D&D game for like months, and Bonfire Man's just too attentive for me to do that. So I'm back. I have to finish this now because I'm coming up on the upload date. It's probably waiting that long period of time was worth it because forestry is going to be a lot more profitable than it would be otherwise. As far as what to work on, I guess I'm going to start with agility. I think I left you off last clip saying I was about to go do wood cutting, but I think I'm going to do agility. Kind of ease myself back into the game. All right, Mark of Grace on the Varrock course was 11 laps, which is okay. That's not bad. Oh man, maximum unlucky. I got a Mark of Grace on the Alcarid course on the 2nd lap. Ugh. I can go really long without seeing one. It's really, really unfortunate. Okay, ended up going something like 19 laps on the Draenor course, heading now to the Falador course. Well, 2 laps. Not the best cycle for agility this time. All right, gonna try to get my mini games out of the way here so that my other skills aren't blocked by that. So we're gonna do the Rogue's Den and really hope I get another piece here. Okay, here we go. Please give me a piece. Oh god, that sucks. It's one run through the whole place, one successful run, and that was successful, even though I got unlucky and got trapped in the last step. Oh well. All right, doing fishing trawler. I think I'll do Temporos after this. Have you always gotten a small amount of construction XP from repairing these things? I don't know if I've ever noticed that before. It's like 5 XP every time you fill a leak. Oh yeah, no, I guess it's ever since they redesigned the minigame. I must have just missed it because I wasn't close to a level up. I'm pretty close to a construction level up here, close to 61. Okay, am I gonna get lucky again? I got one last cycle. I did not, but that's okay. I'm already doing fine on the rate for the fishing pieces. I am gonna go do Temporos. I think first though, I'm gonna pop and work on Implings because I am able to just stand around and hop for a bit. So I'll see if I can get these guys. All right, got my last gourmet impling here, and we're done with the surface implings. Time to go down to Puro. Should be about to get a hunter level here. I'm still working through my Puro implings. It's gonna be a while until we get to 36. Hunter is slowed down really significantly. I think I'm only gonna get about maybe 1 level up per cycle, if that. There it is, 34 hunter. 2 to go to the next tier of impling. All right, the Puro part of every cycle is kind of a pain in the ass. Finally done though. It's not one of the things I least look forward to, but it always takes me longer than I suspect it's going to. Let's go do Temporos. That looks like I'm doing fine. I'm always a little bit rusty because I'm only doing this every couple months now, but I think I got it okay. All right, no problem. First try. It's nice getting 10 permits every time. Let's see what we get here. Give me a net, please, sir. Nothing, but that's okay. Okay, I'm gonna move on to regular fishing here. I just need to wait for one of these spots to move to make sure that I fish it for as long as possible. Okay, should get a fishing level here in a second. Fishing 71. About done with fishing. I just have a couple of the stuff I usually do later in the cycle. I'm gonna do runecraft since I'm over here in Edgeville anyway. The Abyss makes this quite a bit less painful. Heading up this way, I've got a Ring of Dueling on me so I can get back to Edgeville. All right, let's start with this Nature Rift. Cool, and I'm just gonna go through and do all the other ones. All right, rune crafting is done other than Guardians of the Rift. I think it's time for me to try woodcutting. Let's give it a shot. So yeah, today is November 28th, 2023. I'm cutting it real close to the published date here. So they did change it so that forestry is easier, doesn't require things anymore. So I will report it if I get a new event that I haven't seen before. I've only seen the 2 events right now. I've seen the Roots event, I want to say, and the Sapling event, but I haven't seen any of the other ones. So I'm gonna go get working on woodcutting. Let's do it. Okay, gonna start with the maple trees here. These are one of the easier ones for me to get to in bank. I've got 11 that I can deplete here. Oh, I'm a dummy. Those forestry changes, that was just a blog post. They're not actually in the game yet. I need to decide if I want to try to hold out. The Leagues 4 is happening right now. I'm not playing them. I went way too hard on the first 3 leagues. I got Dragon Cup in Leagues 3. It was really bad. I gotta take one break. I got other things going on. But I'm wondering if I can hold out at least to this week's update. Maybe. I'll finish doing the maple trees since I've already started on them here. But when I'm done with the maples, I might try to find other activities to work on and see if I get lucky on a new forestry update. Not needing to have the items at spawn events should make the number of events I see greatly increase, because the event spawn rate, it's like constantly checking to see if an event can spawn. So I don't know if I'm chopping down a tree and it's rolling an event I don't have access to and then just not doing anything, right? Entling event? I haven't seen this one before. Ruin the Entling. Short on top. Just do what they keep asking you to do, I guess, and you get fletching XP for it. I don't know if I'm allowed to just do the same one over and over. That's perfect, thanks. Okay. Sides. This is a pretty cute event. I guess this one already didn't need a spawn condition. I think this is a new one from when it didn't exist when I did my last cycle. The cut is perfect, leave it alone. Okay. Almost time to go. Okay, I'll have to be faster with this next time. How much time they give me total here. Given 4 Endlings haircuts, the Endlings left you a gift, 40 anima infused bark, 16 piles of magic leaves. Okay, cool. Okay, I think I got the gist of the event. I should be able to do a little bit better at it next time now that I know how it works. But that was my first encounter with it. I think I might actually leave and come back to this in a second. I do want to finish the maples so that I remember to do it, but I want to try to let the event cooldown pass. I wonder if that's world specific, if I can just hop every time I get an event. You know, I bet I can. I'm going to try that. All right, I just got the one event from Maples, but that's fine. That's what I got last cycle too. I'm just going to do my one choppers here, and then I'm going to move on to something other than wood cutting to see if I can hold out and see if that update happens to come out this week. I don't know to what extent they're holding off on updating the main game during leagues. I might just need to accept that it's not going to be out until my next cycle. Oh, hey, this is a new event I haven't seen before. Count Check. I missed the pop-up for him. I just clicked on him instinctively, but he gives you a lamp if you have a Jagex account, so that's kind of cool. The possibility of leveling Slayer has gone up dramatically since they really increased the number of lamps you can get. That's crazy. Kind of cool to actually care about things like the mime event again. It used to be such a bummer when the mysterious old man would spawn. Yeah, one lamp. Beauty. Slayer, please. Working on thieving here, about to get a level up. Maybe. There it is. Thieving 71. So working through thieving here, picking these chests, which I didn't know existed before my last one. All right, y'all, here's the at a glance at my task progress here. You know, mostly done with thieving, mostly done with fishing, right? Today is Thursday, November 30th, and the update they did was for Chambers of Zarek. It was not the forestry changes, so I don't think I can hold out for another week. I'm just going to go ahead and do wood cutting with whatever I get from forestry. I guess I'll start with the magic logs, so we'll go backwards. Start magic yew and then willow and oak. Well, no events at the magic logs. I guess I'll just report if I see a new event, because we've already been over all the forestry events last episode. All right, working on yews here. Just got my second forestry event for this cycle. This one's just the roots again. So over here doing my singleton chops on willows and got another count check. I think this is 2, like, almost back to back. That's pretty exciting. I missed a level. 86 wood cutting. I got an event here. I'm up to 2 events from oak trees now as I go through chopping all of them. I didn't realize you get a giant burst of XP at the end of the sapling event. So I got wood cutting 86. All right, this is my last tree for the cycle, last oak tree. I got really unlucky this time on forestry events, probably because they added the extra events, and the game is constantly rolling for events that I don't have the items for. I only ended up seeing 4 total forestry events this time. I saw Entlings, Rising Roots, and then Struggling Saplings twice on the oaks. Not great. I assume it's going to get way better once they get rid of those items, but we're done. All right, I got to get to work on farming. Woodcutting is still producing way more bird nests with tree seeds in it, so I do have 3 maple saplings that I can do this cycle. That's pretty exciting. 1 here at Varrock, 1 at Taberley, and 1 at Lumbridge. All right, let's get these agility tickets. Close to a level up in here. Just gonna record until it happens. There we go, agility 52. Got my last ticket here. It's getting really close to PDM time. Is this a level up here? Not quite. We are gonna get a farming level up from the last maple tree. Working through farming and my shops at the moment. All right, this should be a farming level Means I won't need to boost anymore. Yeah, farming 55. I can just do cacti without boosting, which is nice. Almost done with my shops here, just doing the Sudoku casket, rune doku. 44 law runes, that's pretty good. I didn't do as well on law runes last cycle. Take it. Alright, so outside of some mini games like Guardians of the Rift, I'm pretty much done with the non-PVM stuff. As you can see over here, I got a couple things like construction and Sorceress's Garden. I'm gonna go ahead and start PVM. I like doing the wilderness stuff first just to get it out of the way since it's kind of stressful. I cannot do Calvarian anymore because it's been patched to require the medium wilderness diary that I will probably never get, so I got a few chances at loot there. It's too bad I can't do it anymore. Wish they came up with some other like anti-bot measure. There's a lot of like design in OSRS that I think is really, really good, but the design that exists just to curb bot activity is unfortunate. I wish that didn't have to exist. Okay, so I don't think this particularly matters. I'm working through PVM here, but I noticed they added fancier boots. This is based on having a Jagex account attached. And yeah, okay, they're not better. They look different. They actually look kind of sweet. But I'll be using the runner boots. Pretty close to an attack level up here. I might get into one of these market guards or maybe the jail guards. There it is. Attack 77. All right, I'm making some pretty good progress here through the PVM portion of the cycle. Just kind of wrapping up the more difficult stuff that I tend to save for the end. Working on Tazars here. I'm really hoping I get a drop. I've been kind of unlucky on Tazars. I think, actually, you know, I haven't really looked at the kill counts. Maybe I'm not as unlucky as I think I am, because I think the drop rates are actually quite poor. Oh, right, I can't... Right, because it only logs the ones that actually drop stuff. I'd have to look at my spreadsheet to see how many Tazar shills I've killed. One sec. Okay, so I've killed 252 Tazar shills, not including what I'm about to kill on this cycle. And it's a 1 in 682 drop, so okay, maybe I'm not dry. Still got a ways to go. It'd be so nice to get that obsidian cape, though. It'd be a pretty big upgrade. And no luck on Tazar drops. One of these cycles, I'm gonna get something. Watch me get the obsidian cape finally after doing the fight caves. Always a huge pain to kill these black dragons, even when I remember to bring the super attack potion, but the one I just killed dropped an adamant plate body, which is kind of cool. And this is my 20th elite clue that I'm gonna have to throw out. So, huge mistake report. Hopefully I won't ever make this one again. I'm over here like, how is it possible that I have a defense boost? And when I was finishing off the black dragons, I noticed that I had a penalty to strength, despite having brought a strength potion with me. I'm like, okay, I think that's something that can happen if I miss a prayer flick with protect from magic. They can like drain your stats. You know what actually happened? I didn't bring a strength potion dose. I brought a Cerebrew dose, of which I had only 4. So now I only have 3. Oh, it hurts. I don't even remember where I got that from. I have to look up, like, where could I have possibly gotten a Cerebrew? I think I got one of them a long time ago. Oh, I bet it was Calvarian. So that's not good. That's actually extremely bad. Actually getting towards the end of PVM here. I'm over here at the Calphite Queen. Let's see how this goes. Made it to phase 2. There's the kill. Rune Chain Body. Oh, I'll take the prayer potions, actually. It's a little tough for me to get those, so might make a difference. We'll see. I'm gonna pop outside and get my guardian kills. I'll come back and kill these 2 here in a second. All right, these are my last few creatures for PVM. I gotta kill this crocodile, and now 2 more jackals if I can wait for them to wander into my chunk here. I probably should have brought a bow and arrow. Here's the last one. Oh, don't go in the other chunk? Okay. Beautiful. PVM complete. Okay. So now I have a couple more thieving tasks to do. To get all the folks here in Menaphos. I guess I also have to do the T-stall. I just blanked on doing that in Varrock. And then after that, I pretty much just have mini games left. I guess I gotta do my construction still. I think I'm gonna skip Giant's Foundry this cycle because that's already not, it's limited by what's in my bank, and I really need to finish up this cycle. So I can do it next time. I've got plenty of money to fund me for the next cycle, so it's not as important that I do every single bar that I've obtained so far. Got some more farming to do, but I'll try to do that in between the mini games, because all the farming, like an hour grow time now. I've done all the trees. Okay, working on my non-skilling tasks like cleaning finds. I'm just gonna do a full inventory. I guess I'll let you know if I get any lamps. Well, I got the clean necklace, which is what you need, I think, for a dig site necklace, which might actually be helpful for me. I think I can use that. So yeah, I'll turn it in here. That's cool. Show it to this guy. 5 fire runes, 1 cosmic rune, 49 magic. Can make enchanted ruby necklaces. Okay, that's really exciting. Actually a useful unlock. Because I think that teleport location is in my unlocked chunks. Yeah, goes right there. So that would be just useful when I have to do all that soil cleaning. Oh wow, my very last thing was a lamp. I think this is going to be a Slayer level then. Leveling Slayer with cleaning finds lamps. What a hardcore account. Slayer 39. Molinisks, which... Where even are Molinisks? The Dorgish Khan South Dungeon, which I've never been to. I don't think I've ever fought a Molinisk before. Requires Death to the Dorgishan to get to it, so we probably won't see it, but I guess we have the Slayer level to fight them now. Hey, look at that. 61 construction. I'll check my build list. I don't think I unlock anything exciting from construction for a while, even with the T-boost. Yeah, it looks like anything interesting I would unlock is going to require me to get access to Teak, which is probably a ways off still. So this is actually relevant to me now. I always try to do the one-click summer garden thing. As you can see, I have this complicated like plugin set up for it. And apparently people have figured out that if you just do all of your summer gardening on a dedicated world, I think the Jagex even made a world for them, which is really funny. Yeah, if you just do it on a dedicated world, then everyone is just running constantly, and only like 1% of the people running can ever get caught. It might be too early in the morning, and Leagues is going on right now for this to work, but I'll check it out. Why not? It looks like the phenomenon has passed. I was seeing posts on the subreddit of like worlds completely full with people. And now I just see like one person here. So I'll have to do it the traditional way. That's okay. Time for 30 minutes of AFK here at Castle Wars. All right, got my tickets. I think I have a decent number of these now. How many is it? 24? Okay, those are the only ones that really matter. The Halos, which I guess I can buy and then sell back. So I could pick up the Halos once I get to 75. It's many cycles away, but we will actually get there. Let's do pest control. Oh, the Novice Lander is frustrating sometimes. People just open the door, they don't attack the portals. There's only so much you can do by yourself. Okay, it took me several attempts, but finally won on the Novice Lander. That was kind of a nightmare. Okay, there we go. All right, let's do this Soul Wars thing. Really not a great first run. 33 Zeal. Got annihilated. Well, 32 Zeal in the second game, so that's 60, so that's enough. I'm gonna go get my spoils here. 2 really bad games. All right, what we get? Coal, please. That is not coal. Coal, please. That is not coal. Okay. All right, doing last man standing earlier than I usually do. I might end up ending this cycle with Guardians of the Rift, just because it's the thing I'm most nervous about doing again. I'll have to watch the VOD to remind myself how the hell to do it, since I've only done it once solo. Die third, that's fine. Pretty good for AFKing the whole round. All right, got to second place in my second game, so that should be 4 points, I think. I should die with 7 here. I just don't bother trying. It's too much work. Yeah, 4 points. There we go. Got our total of 7. I'm just gonna keep them banked for now. I could trade them in for arrows, but I'll wait until I actually need the arrows for now, I think. All right, getting my Barbarian Assault done. Well, I got a group who's not very happy with me. Always hate having to do this. 15 mithril bars on the low gamble. Oh, I don't have enough for the medium gamble. Shit. Try not to talk about that. I'll have to do it again to my next group, sadly. Okay, here's the high gamble. I'm gonna have to do more for the medium gamble, annoyingly. 33 unicorn horns. It's not complete trash since I'm limited in how many of those I can get, and that'll be good for making anti-poisons. All right, getting my medium gamble here. Just enough points for it. 287 nature runes. That's actually kind of sick. Although I can get that from Soul Wars, so it's not that impactful. I actually finished that round on healer, so I got some points there. That's pretty nice. All I have left to do is, well, I have to plant some nasturtiums, and then I'm gonna go try to do Guardians of the Rift again, even though I don't remember it all. I get count check so often. I think I've gotten it like 3 times this cycle. Pretty great. I'm not complaining at all. Staying on Slayer at least till 40. I might recalibrate once I get to 40, but I think it does make sense for me to lamp skills that are otherwise impossible for me to train. Okay, I'm here at Guardians of the Rift. I'm just trying to remind myself what to do here. I got 12 points last time, so I'm looking to match or beat that. We'll see. I think it's time for me to just give it a try here. So I've got my pouches and my chisel. I'm not going to record this whole thing, so I need a weak cell and 10 uncharged cells. It'd be nice to be able to do the large Guardian remains. I need to get one more agility level to be able to boost to 56 to get down there. It'll be possible at some point. Here, though, I'm not going to panic. I'm just going to try to stall for as long as I can get away with. I mostly just want to have 2 overcharged Guardians and an overcharged barrier, and then I think I'm good. It's hard to follow, but the guide is really, really, really wordy. Really wordy. And it's hard because it's concerned with doing things as quickly as you can, right? Which is not what I'm trying to do. I don't want to do it as fast as I can. I instead want to delay for as long as I can, so the opposite, actually. Yeah, I just failed. Okay. I failed my first attempt. I learned a lesson. I need to upgrade the barrier before making 2 Guardians. All right, here's my second attempt. I'm hoping I'm going to get to a cycle here where I can just win on the first try, because I don't like I got an extra 1300 runecraft XP, which isn't a lot in the grand scheme of leveling runecraft, but it was like when I was failing Temporos when I was still learning the method, right? Like it's extra XP that I'd rather not be getting. So I'm going to try it again. I think I learned something from last attempt. This time I'm going to make a really detailed future Marstead document for Guardians of the Rift, so I don't have to relearn these things over and over. Okay, I'm out of run energy. I brought some strange fruits and my Lumbridge ring to try to help with run energy. It's probably going to be mandatory in the future. Oh no, one of these guys got through. I didn't know that was possible. I still had it. Maybe it's because there's too many enemies for the barriers or something. I'm about to get a level up here, I think. 50 runecraft? Oh, almost. Of course, I clicked off record as soon as I got it. 50 runecraft, whoops. Okay, so unfortunately, I think I'm about to lose again, but I learned something again about how to do this. Like, I can't really use the guide as a guide because it's to try to maximize points per hour, and I want to maximize points per game, right? I want to, like, get into a holding pattern. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to build all of the barriers instead of mining it all at the beginning, because I'm not even using these Guardian fragments. I'm just kind of running around, right? I think that's going to be the smartest thing I can do. Yeah, failed again. Okay, so I think this is the strategy. I think what I need to do, because I kept getting screwed by them going around the edges to the other barriers here and damaging the Guardian. Instead of mining it all, I have to run back and forth from the weak cells table and just build all of these. Focus on the middle one, obviously, but try to upgrade each of them as far as I can whenever I'm not working on building high-powered Guardians. So I'm going to give that a try, and if that doesn't work, I'll do it the way I did it in the first cycle. But I gotta wait on run energy again. Okay, third time's a charm. Actually, this is probably still fact-finding, because I have to figure out my own strategy for Bonfire Man. If this third attempt fails like the last one, then I'll just go back to using the guide for quick solos. I should be able to do that, although it'll be a bit stressful. But I just want to learn if this is doable here. So I think I can get to a point where I'm treading water indefinitely. You notice I've got a whole bunch of overcharged gates there, but without having another player with me, this is almost impossible. I wonder if I could do this by bringing in my ult and just having my main running around helping to maintain the barriers and stuff, and do it as 2 players. Because I think I can, like I said, I can tread water indefinitely, but treading water isn't going to get me to end the minigame. And I don't want this to be a source of infinite XP. That's definitely something I'm trying to explicitly avoid. Yeah, I'm dead here. Just this thing finally broke. I just can't maintain it, especially without having run energy. Usually only get run energy back when you heal the Guardian. And what I might do is, since I'm getting so much excess XP from all these failed attempts at trying to learn how to do this, I might just skip Guardians of the Rift in the next cycle or 2. Make up for it. I'll do the calculation on how much it changes the XP at the end of the day. Never mind, I actually can't bring in an ult because my ults haven't done Temple of the Eye, and I don't really have time to do it this morning, so I'm just going to try doing it the way I did last episode. Get my best shot here. Oh man, just got another level up. Runecraft 51. I'll probably skip Guardians of the Rift a couple times just to make up for all this extra XP. It's not a huge deal, I don't think, but... Well, I got overwhelmed anyway. I think I've just gained so much XP here. I'm going to look at how much I got last cycle from Guardians of the Rift. I might just need to say no to the points this cycle because I just got too much XP from failing. I never had to do this with Temporos because I didn't fail Temporos like 3 or 4 times. Okay, so I have failed several times here, and unfortunately failing ends up generating a ton of Runecraft XP. I don't want to just keep getting free Runecraft XP from trying this minigame. So my solution here is going to be to stop now, since I've already gotten way more XP than I would have gotten if I had succeeded on the first try. And I'm also going to skip this minigame next cycle, just to make up for the excess XP. I would get about 12k per game, and I got about 21k just from failing. So if I skip one cycle, we should be back on track. I think it'll also account for my failure in the first cycle, last cycle when I attempted it, which got me some extra XP. And then after that, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do masses. It's less points per cycle and less XP per cycle, but I can't have it be this variable. I think it's outside of the spirit of Bonfire Man. And then once I get my agility natively to, is it 56 for this over here? Once I'm natively 56 agility, then I might try solos again, because the solo strategy assumes that you can do that, and I think that that's the only way to make it like 100% certain that you can succeed. But even having like an 80% chance to succeed, too high of variance, I think, for this game mode. With Temporos, I don't mind, you know, every now and then I misclick and make a mistake. I get a couple extra 1,000 fishing XP. But here it's like tens of thousands of XP compared to what I would usually get. It's a really huge difference. So yeah, that's how I'm going to handle it. I'm just going to mark this as an error. I'm going to say error tracking, skip Guardians of the Rift. We'll come back to it on a mass world in 2 cycles. I think that's fair. Not the most exciting thing to end on, but that is the end of the cycle. So let's go summarize and roll a new chunk here. Okay, it is the end of the cycle. Let's talk through the summary. I'll have a time code if you want to skip to the chunk roll here. All right, so let's start with the live split timer here. Way down from last cycle, and I think that's mostly because I skipped Giant's Foundry this time around, and I didn't have a whole quest that I had to do, and made some efficiency improvements with woodcutting, especially now that I understand more how forestry works. I'm going to review task completion. I'm going to start marking the block task as green. This will just help me to keep track. First of all, it'll make it easier for me to know when I'm done, because everything will be green or yellow, but also that way I can double check and just make sure that these block tasks are actually still blocked, which they are. So this doesn't mean I did these, it just means I confirm that I still can't do them. So yeah, just pause if you want to review any of these. So errors, I made up for mining extra clay last cycle. This time I made a few errors. I overmined pay dirt a little bit. I accidentally overkilled one baby blue dragon. I was just on auto retaliate and it died in one hit. And like I said, I'm going to skip Guardians of the Rift next cycle. Combat task, sadly, I can't kill Calvarian anymore, which is a bummer. And then farming, I did as much farming as I possibly could. If it's in red, I physically don't have the seeds for that. I should mark Nasturtium because I just planted those. Yeah, so if it's in red, I don't have those seeds, or I don't have the materials to protect them right now. Okay, looking at XP, this is the total XP gain for the cycle there on the right. The more important value is the delta compared to the previous cycle. So anything in the top down through the middle to 0 is within our normal tolerances. You'll notice that Slayer went up by quite a bit. That's from all the lamps that I'm getting now with the new count check random event. A lot higher chance to see lamps now. Down there at the bottom, I presume I got like 27k less woodcutting XP because I saw way fewer random events. I'm hoping if they can make those forestry changes where items aren't required for event spawns, that's going to make that balloon significantly. I think the problem was that because I don't qualify for all the new events they added, more events are rolling and then not spawning for me, right? So it's effectively a lower chance for me to actually see an event when I'm woodcutting. Mining's down about 46k. That's because of the shooting stars changes, but this cycle took me so long to record, they actually nerfed that again. So I assume this is going to drop down even further. I might try to remember to repair it to 2 cycles ago once we do shooting stars next cycle. And smithing is down because I just skipped Giant's Foundry this time. You know, it's the ore isn't going anywhere. I don't have anything on the smithing level up table that I'm particularly excited about anymore. Maybe if I can get to a level where I can boost to make a rune scimitar, that might have a tiny use case over the rune longsword, but the big thing I was working toward was a rune axe for woodcutting, and we already have that. So I will still do smithing, I will still do Giant's Foundry. I need to do it for money, but right now I'm pretty secure with my cash stack, so I might just save myself some time and skip it for a while. In terms of levels here that I'm really looking forward to, we're still working on getting 80 attack and then 80 defense in the effort of trying to get to 100 combat for the veteran pest control lander. Once I'm able to make a magic short bow, which is getting to be pretty soon with fletching, I don't quite have enough for 80, but I might get close to it or get there next cycle if I'm willing to sit down and fletch for a very, very, very long time. If I can make a magic short bow, that kind of changes everything for my account and makes the fight caves actually a little bit more reasonable with the number of prayer potions that I've collected so far. So if I were to hit 80 fletching, or this banked XP calculator tells me I could hit 80, I would likely want to level up range to be able to use that and actually try to do the fight caves. But until that is actively on the table, I think I'm going to keep sticking with my melee stats just to try to get this 100 combat as soon as I can. Herb lore, I'm also not actively training at the moment. I'm just banking the herbs. I'm going to wait until the banked XP calculator tells me I'm going to get to some significant level that gives me access to a new potion. I don't want to spend a bunch of time processing stuff if it's not helping me immediately, but as soon as it would make a difference, then I'll sit down and knock out that grind. Getting farming to the level where I can boost to plant snape grass would be really, really good, because I've got lots of snape grass seeds and I could make lots of prayer potions, and that would completely solve my fight caves problem. Maybe we'll find some other source, but that's kind of the big blocking point right now, is I just don't have enough snape grass to make the prayer potions that I need. And 40 Slayer is a good level. 40 Slayer will let me skip the Sylvaria chunk, because I'll technically qualify for the Rag and Bone Man quest that takes place there. It would just save me a couple trees and some bats that I have to kill every cycle. But it's, you know, something to work toward. And then finally, I guess Hunter, if we can start catching Earth Implings, that will be pretty impactful. Go ahead and slow scroll through the loot tracker here. Again, just pause if you wanted to inspect any of it. These are all the things I killed this cycle. And notably, I think this is interesting, we've gotten 23 lifetime kills on the Calphite Queen, which is actually a pretty respectable kill count for an account that is as shitty as mine. Looking at the bank here, we've got some bird's eggs. Those dropped from one of the Entling event that I can do now. Black claws, a defense potion, another black axe, 2 full prayer potions, and a bird nest. So these aren't all completely new. I've got a lot of these decanted down to 1 dose, but the 2 prayer potions is actually going to be pretty good if we actually try to do the fight caves. I cleaned up the bank. Let's scroll through it. Trying that again. Bank Delta. This is the change in my bank from last cycle to this cycle. I'm up on law runes, which is good. I did spend some time making a bunch of extra rings of dueling because I'd burn through those otherwise. I should have plenty of resources to make an infinite number of rings of dueling, so I just use them constantly to refill my stats at Ferox Enclave. Alright, so that's that. Forgot to check supplies usage before last man standing, so most of the stuff you see in here that are potions or high-level foods are from LMS. Unfortunately, I did accidentally sip a Sarah brew. I thought it was a strength potion, and it was the only one I had. I checked and I got it from Calphite Queen, not from Calvarian. So I could get another one, but it's still, that hurts pretty bad. I've moved my Sarah brew into a completely different tab, so I don't accidentally select it in the future like that. So I can go ahead and mark my supplies reset. And then I guess random events should be consistent with what you saw. You also see how long it took me to complete this cycle. It's a pretty long time. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and roll the new chunk. Okay, we're here in the chunk picker. It's been a while. Lots and lots of available chunks. I've talked about a lot of these in the past. I think I still really want Intrana the most. And I would take West... Well, I guess West Catherby doesn't really matter anymore because they're getting... This was to get into the beehives. But I don't really care now that they're going to get rid of the beehive item. So I'll probably unmark that as a star. Yeah, Intrana's really exciting. West Falador would be great. I could finally do construction contracts, mahogany homes. I had a really bad, really boring chunk roll last cycle, so I'm just going to pray that I get something exciting. Okay, let's go ahead and pick chunk. Okay, that is not a reroll because Dark Warriors are new. This is plunging me deeper into the wilderness here. 34 coal rocks, that's actually a pretty good deal. And there's a shooting star here. Assuming I can 100% complete the chunk. I might be able to. I don't see anything that would stop me. Yeah, okay. Well, another shooting star is always welcome. It's in a weird spot. But, you know, whatever. I don't know if Dark Warriors have any interesting drops. I think they're basically just men or guards. Yeah. Not really. So no big changes, but it is a new enemy. Oh, you know, I was like, actually, these guys don't drop anything new, and they're not a new enemy at all, are they? That's actually false. They are, in fact, a specifically assigned Slayer target from Krystilia, so I can't get away with saying that these are not a new enemy. They are new if I can ever get Krystilia tasks. I have access to her. Yeah, Dark Warriors, Slayer task, don't get to skip the cycle. All right, well, in that case, we'll see you next episode with the Dark Warriors Fortress. I'll catch you next time, folks. Bye.